Hello, everyone. Yeah, let's maybe wait for an additional 5 minutes in order to get everyone in. So we will start approximately at 5:05, something like that. Yeah, we will wait for additional 3 minutes, I guess. Yeah, I guess we waited for a long time already, so I think next participants will join along. So yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are happy to see you in our today's webinar. Today we are talking about the role of software in the more modern business and and how it can improve operations. So let's start with some small introduction. We are Lionwood.software. We have a team of 100 people. Yeah, we are specializing in custom-built software solutions. We drive startup with software. We help businesses to grow their revenue and capacity by digitalizing their businesses. Our key specialization is UI UX design, product discovery, backend and front-end development, software testing, and project management. The main domains that we cover are blockchain, transportation and logistics, education, finance, insurance, and entertainment. We have a clutch rating of 4.9 stars and an average collaboration period with our clients for 3 years. So we are aiming to build a collaboration with our clients, which will last long term and not one-time work. Moreover, we have our own startup in the education sphere, so we really understand what startup means. And our client is Lionwood. He is one of the most requested regional wedding and event venues in Germany. Initially, their idea was to build software tool for themselves to help manage their own venue, but later it grown to a whole new business for them, and they became an event cloud, a vendor of this SaaS solution, with the aim to equip all event locations in the world with this software. So let's start our today's meeting. The agenda for it will be the following. Firstly, we will go briefly with which is the role of software in the modern business. Then we will talk about how to be prepared for starting a project and how to determine that time has come for your business to have a custom built solution. Then we will briefly go through software development process to help you understand how things work under the hood. And after Jossa, the CEO of the Event Cloud, will to tell you about their personal experience and how did software changed their business. So let's start. So the core topic of today's talk is how software solution can enhance businesses. In an era marked by digital transformation and the rapid technological advancements, the role of software solution has evolved significantly, I would say. Currently, these solutions that stand at the forefront of modern business strategies, and they are essential for success of any business. As we live in the digital age, where data is the king and where the data is king and efficiency is paramount, businesses of all sizes and industry continuously seek ways to streamline their operations, to enhance customer experience, and to stay competitive. In this context, software solution can cover all these aspects. So one of the key roles of software solution business is to enhance efficiency and productivity. Whenever is automating repetitive tasks or, for example, optimizing supply chains, improving communication within organization, software is the driving force behind these advancements. In our example, system allows owners to track and trace and manage all aspects of the event planning, from kitchen orders to automatic invoice calculation, which significantly decreases amount of man hours which are required on managing the events. As I said earlier, in the modern world, data and information are the most valuable assets. Just look at the giants of the industry, companies like Google, Meta, Amazon. Every action on the internet and beyond is recorded, stored, and analyzed. Why? The answer is because this way companies learn the behavior patterns of their audience so they can decide which actions to take with their new products. Of course, we are talking now about giant worldwide companies, but on the smaller scale in your business niche, data analysis can play a crucial role and provide you with the very valuable information. For example, the most powerful technologies such as neural networks can analyze vast amount of data and give you unexpected insights into your customers' behavior, which then will, I would say, empower you to make informed decisions, spot trends, and predict future market shifts. It is not a secret that software solutions break down geographical barriers. They allow business to reach customers and collaborate with partners all around the world. This accessibility fosters globalization and opens up new markets. If we take Event Cloud as an example, owners of the system have a marvelous venue in Germany. So people from the whole country are interested in conducting their events there. Before implementing this software, customer acquisition was possible only during live visiting and manually going through all event details by hand and paper, which would require customers to regularly visit the venue in person. Now, owners can send a custom-built questionnaires to clients all around their sphere of service and get all necessary information. Customers, on the other hand, have the ability to plan their events online, which is very convenient for them. So now, with investing in the software, business, which was limited to their region, is open for the customers worldwide without major changes in companies' structure. Also, software is often the face of business for the customers. User-friendly apps and websites provide seamless experience, enabling businesses to engage and retain customers effectively. To stay competitive, businesses must adapt to changing market conditions and other surrounding stuff. So software solutions are doing this exact thing. They enable rapid innovation and agility. They're helping companies to respond to the customer needs more quickly. In our case, the solution that Event Cloud proposes is creating a whole new experience for the customers. Event planning never was easier. Everything is online, everything is customizable, everything is in your hands. So now other venues which are housing events are buying the Event Cloud system to manage their own events and the customer flows. Yeah, so now as we went through why software is the pinnacle part of modern business, let's discuss which actions should be done at the start of the project. So let's imagine you decided that your business requires a custom solution. Where do you start? First of all, if an in-person meeting with your software development partner is possible, you should definitely go for it. Online meetings are good, but nothing can compare with live discussions of customer vision. Because if you are just like random person on the internet, there will be no connection between you and your client or you and your software partner. On-site visit, they help to build long-lasting relations because now you're not just person on Skype or Google Meet, you're like a real person that you know. And there is also where our cooperation with Event Cloud started by an on-site visit to client location near Freiburg in Germany. Even in the times of war in our country, we managed to organize a trip to meet client in person. We have prepared preliminary design vision. We discussed it with the client have a nice evening. So we became more than just customer and the client. So along with things like vision document and general project description, the starting point is what we are calling a user stories document. This is where everything begins. Essentially, you're describing which functionality this system will give to a user by imagining yourself as a user. So the document is filled up with sentences like, I want users to be able to log in. I want users to be able to create a custom question, and so on and so on. So this document allows developers to divide system into modules, tasks, subtasks, which then will help plan the development. It's also great if the client will be able to provide a list of references, so similar system or competitors. So we on our side can create the system which will be better than the existing ones. After these documents are compiled, our analytics team can begin to work with it, divide the system by the components, and thoughtfully go through every module to describe the functionalities that will be there. This is a huge teamwork between a development company and the client, because all business aspects should be taken into account. On a large projects, this is called discovery phase. It can take up to a month, but in the outcome, client and the development team will have all the necessary documentation, user flows, technical details regarding implementation of specific features. Even though discovery phases are not done for free, the outcome can save a lot of budget costs later on the project because of accurate planning. But I'm not gonna lie, and you also here will not let me. We didn't do a good discovery phase on the start of the Event Cloud project, which resulted later in terms and the budget over usage. Not everything was clearly documented, which resulted in not accurate estimations from the development team. However, we managed to overcome these issues later in the project. We worked really closely with our client. We documented everything as clearly as possible. And going with this approach allowed us to provide precise estimates and deliver agreed scopes on time. So to summarize, for a client to be prepared for a starting of the development, you need to have like a general project description and vision document. That's obvious. Technical preferences are nice to have if you have some very specific requests. User stories document where you describe all functionalities of the system, and would be nice to have like a reference and competitors list. And the last but not the least, and one of the most important aspects is be prepared to work closely with the team, because software development is actually work from both parts. It's work from software development company and the client. We will have like the weekly meetings and so on and so on. So let's go further with the next theme of today's talk, is how to determine that business requires a software solution. And with this theme, my colleague Dennis will take his part in it.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, thank you, Victor, for your speech. So yeah, I'm Dennis. I'm delivery manager of Lionwood.software. So I'm responsible for the delivery of all expectations inside each project. And I have been working at Lionwood.software since 2019 and faced a lot of different requests and delivered software solutions in delivers domains. So like currently I'm leading the project management department and take responsibility for all accounts inside the company. So today I'm going to briefly share how the software solution can improve the business. And so let's start. So the first point, so when the business is growing organically, it means it is going to face with new challenges and responsibilities. New challenges and duties mean increased expenses for your business because the business will need new resources and other important stuff for managing this flow. Moreover, growing business increases risks and involvement time, while decreases the capacity of service overall. The question is, what is the solution? For that reason, the majority of business choose the transform process with software solutions to make the business process easier and more transparent. So let's discuss a few examples, and let's imagine you have a company that offers service for organizing concerts, and you have a huge warehouse for stage equipment. So it was one of our projects. And you always face the problem of managing the current state of equipment. Quantity, amortization, assignment to concert, for example, stealing and other bad cases that can be happen. All the data are on the paper, so you don't have any possibilities to use some software solution. You just use your notepad and your pen, for example. So what would you do in this case? So the right decision is to cover such cases with software solutions. So for example, we created mobile application for both platforms, iOS and Android. And with these apps, the end users can fill in the data regarding equipment just by using their smartphone. So we have different roles. For example, in the mobile phone, we have three roles. So it is workers and warehouse keepers and servicemen. So for example, workers and warehouse keepers have their own accounts in the app to approve each item that is moving from and to the warehouse. So the simple flow tracking equipment is, so for example, the worker takes the needed equipment and sends the request to our housekeeper. Meanwhile, our housekeeper checks the equipment visually, of course, and check the request deadline and approves it if it is needed, of course. The worker leaves the warehouse with equipment that our housekeeper has approved, like simple flow. Backflow is the same, so vice versa. So the worker comes back with the equipment and sends the request to our housekeeper to accept it. Meanwhile, our housekeeper checks the equipment visually. If needed, our housekeeper can assign some specific equipment to the serviceman for the repair. And of course, check the quality and if it is possible to approve the request. Also, like the last thing, the worker leaves the warehouse without equipment that warehouse keeper has approved, and this request can be done. So in the other end, we have the web application that covers of the workflow of the whole software solution. And inside this web application, we have additional role. It is a manager, administrator, who has access to this app, and he or she is able to check the state of each request. For example, we have different states like created, in progress, closed, and etc. So, and of course, if needed, we assign this request with list of equipment to another worker if needed. Also, manager can check the state of the equipment assigned to serviceman, because sometimes the equipment can be removed according to possibilities of repair. So it was the simple example of the software solution for managing equipment for events. So let's go to the next example. It's example regarding our main topic, Event Cloud. So, and let's imagine that you have your own event agency and you are in event manager. So you're working by your own, and you have, for example, clients, for example, couple who want to get married, and you are a company which is responsible for the event. So actually, you will prepare this event. You meet each other and you gather all requirements. For example, venue preferences, menu, bar, entertainment, and other things. And of course, you have only agreed notes in your notebook. So you just have a piece of paper, pen, and you made the notes. So, but what you would do when a couple decides to change the menu for 100 guests? So it's quite a challenge, of course. Sure, you will meet each other again and you will collect data again and note them on the paper, but what would you do if you have a lot of event managers? Your company is scaling, so how would you manage them? So it's more complex, of course. So the answer is that the first step to avoid capacity loss, risks, and additional expenses, and see the full picture of the workflow is to create a custom software solution that covers all business cases. So a good idea is to create some electronic form with questionnaire for a couple and send it via messenger or an email. So, and of course, after that, couple will fill it up and you get the result. So looks like simple requirements, yeah. So, but in fact, it doesn't. So the main question, how the questionnaire should be prepared before you send it to the customer. So here you can see GIF on the presentation. So just like example of the page builder for a questionnaire. So it's quite complex solution where you can use a lot of UI elements to build the page for the end user, for the customer, for the couple who will fill it up in the end. So, but what about the event cost calculation? Sure, you as an event company can handle it. Just connect to question all attributes from the price collection and send it as an invoice based on the customer answers. So here, as an example, you can see this is invoice builder. When you as an admin able to create invoice and send it just via email. So, and of course, the end user, customer, couple, they will see total amount of their how much they need to pay for this event. So Also, meanwhile, the end user will see a price per option that was chosen and the total amount for the event. So also the customer is able to export it to the PDF, as you can see here on the right corner. So, and see detailed overview of each option that they are booked. So, this is a brief example of how the software solution can easily manage your own business process based on the entertainment domain, based on the events preparation. So the main conclusion is that your investments, it's just consulting and sharing knowledge of your business processes, and of course development team, so who will be responsible for the development. As a result, you will get a software solution that can make the management of the process quick, easy, transparent, and of course cheaper. So yeah, I tried to express this via a few examples that we rolled out. These applications already released, and end users can use it. So, and let's discuss the more detailed way, in one more detailed way. As an example on the Event Cloud. So the first time when I saw the request of the Event Cloud, I was surprised that someone needed such a solution. So, but remember that the first impression might be wrong, and to clearly evaluate, we always need to analyze and discuss it, of course. So we knew that we had to gather more details regarding request, and the best practice of Lionwood.software is the voice of the customer approach. So just to hear and detect real pain points and the expectations of the business. So the main aim was to gather details of the business request and analyze what should be resolved by different approaches. It can be like simple approaches like discussions and brainstorming sessions, and more complex approaches like focus groups, social networks, and just feedbacks and reviews from the end users. So in case of the Event Cloud, we build communication directly with Yossa, business owner, and I am product manager, who shared with us all the data that we needed. So just simple points that we need to do before we started negotiations. So before scheduling the meeting with the client, especially with Yoss and we shared few tips on how to present business challenges in the right order. So first of all, we sent tips on how to decompose one aim to small tasks, aka user stories. We asked to provide the existing code base, of course, of the current version of the application. Yeah, Yoss and Ahim, they already had application. It's maybe more close to more MVP, but it was higher than MVP in fact. So yeah, we asked to provide credentials to this current version of the app. And test accounts, of course. And we asked if it's possible to provide other useful information, for example, like mockups, wireframes, documentation regarding API, maybe other like third-party services integration, so, and etc. So Yossa and I presented us a lot of information, especially regarding old application. So they explained how to use it. Of course, we tried to understand the purpose of this solution, and at that point we realized that there are no such solution created yet. So for example, Google Form was inconvenient and didn't cover all cases. So, and we just looked through and realized that it's really good solution to cover this business cases that shared with us client. So as you can see here, this is the event list that's already scheduled. This is a screenshot of the page builder, actually the questionnaire builder, and these two screenshots from the customer view, especially from the questionnaire. This is the greeting page, and this is page with the radio buttons where the end user customer, for example, couple, can choose one of option that needed for the event and see the whole calculation. Yeah, this is user interface of the old app. Also, Josep prepared and presented us detailed overview of their expectations via user stories. It was a spreadsheet with a lot of data that included detailed overview of each feature according to the different roles of users. Yeah, it was giant, but enough to understand and refer to them in the future as a main data source. And the last thing that also Yes and Ahim shared with us, it's the code base from the old application, and we started investigating. So our main conclusion was that the code base was not extendable. So our conclusion, like I just paste here from our proposal, bullet points that we sent after the investigation of the code base. So like current project code base is extremely hard to extend because of the fundamental architecture flows. So, and support of the current code base would be also hard to provide because of the unpredictable nature of code, which will lead to bugs and inconsistent work. So creating new models, features would not be possible without refactoring. Of course, setting estimates and timeframes, which are an essential part of any agreement, would be almost impossible without including additional high risks. Of course, this will greatly affect the end price. Those would be not beneficial for client, for Jose and I. So yeah, we gathered all this data from Jose and Achim. We had we arranged the meeting and they started negotiating all points, all this data that we had. So, and after the negotiation, we made the decision to create a new app that will cover existing functionality and new business cases and will be extendable for future needs. So, the main challenge was for us as a development team to create a questionnaire builder with free customization. It means that the end user will have the ability to create page and subpage with a free amount of them, change the order of each page by dragging and dropping, user interface customization of each page via page builder using drag and drop engine, Of course, price adjustments for each logical option, like check boxes, radio buttons, and etc. And of course, building the workflow by linking of the pages and other logical elements. So because for the questionnaire is important to have possibility to follow by flow. So and yeah, for us it was really challenge because these main requirements were not like trivial. It was really complex for us. So, but nevertheless, we started development flow. So we agreed with Jos and Achim that we should start the estimation process, like, and during, based on the preparation, based on the user stories, and meanwhile preparing design based on the also user stories. So after presenting estimates, yeah, we continue making designs. So, and as like obviously after design, we started implementing this application and testing, of course. Like looks like a simple flow. So, but in fact, we had really huge amount of works. So, and the main challenge was to cover requirements. We had to find the perfect solution that would provide such ability to make a page builder with different adjustments. We investigated different approaches and found one is a library that covers almost all cases that were required. It's not a secret name of the library React Grid layout. And we would be able to drag and drop and mix between each other all UI elements, as you can see here on the example. And for the end user, it will be what he or she wants. So, and of course, looks like it was really grateful and useful solution for us and cover almost all cases. So, but in fact, it was a bit mistake that we hadn't worked before with solutions like custom page builder engine, and our expectations was wrong. So we estimated that we would make it in 2 weeks approximately, and of course, type of the contract was fixed price. In fact, it took more than 3 months. It's only for the custom page builder engine. So, yeah, does it look like a failure? For some reason, yes, but at the beginning, we haven't thought in this way. So, yeah, the reason was that we wouldn't just reuse the existing library and customize it a little bit. In real life, it was total customization of the whole solution. So, and the main mistake was that such project should be implemented more closely with all stakeholders to understand the main aim that leads business to their expected result. We suppose that it was enough initial requirements, just user stories, but in fact, it wasn't. So, yeah, after a couple of sprints, we realized that we needed more time for the implementation. After that, we made a more detailed overview of existing designs and made a technical overview of what remains to be done. So we defined the functionality that remains for the implementation and priority them. for example, which functionality is important for the first release and what could be implemented after. Also, we changed the approach to make our working process more convenient. We started having meetings together with all team members, including Achim and Yosa. So we arranged brainstorm sessions and other meetings so to delve into more details and found the technical and business approach together. So also we created a separate board only for features and epics that are managed by product manager, by Achim. We defined all the scope that we needed to resolve step by step and transform our process to a dedicated team approach. There is an example, like as you can see here on the screen, our current board with a lot of state columns, with tags, with other fields that we customized to improve our process to make it more transparent. So in the end, now we are working closely with each other and everyone understands that main aim clearly. It's really what we wanted to achieve. We don't have any bureaucratic blockers and other things that make work complex. Also, we increased transparency on all levels because everyone knows all needed information and has access to it. Currently, our app is released and the end user currently uses it. So we are really happy that the main aim is completed and all team members are eager to work on new improvements. It is not a secret that developers that have been working on the Event Cloud speak loud about the project on coffee breaks. They are really proud of working on this project and what they have got, like it's huge experience and of course customer satisfaction from it. So it's a big achievement for our company to hear such words. We really happy that we that end users use this application. So and in general we received good feedbacks from Jos and Ahim, and I hope from other users who used it. So yeah, this is all from my side. I think Josa can continue. Josa, please, your turn.
Yeah, hello from my side as well. My name is Josa, and we are running an event venue, and we are selling software, Event Cloud. And yeah, now you listened a lot to English with a Ukrainian accent. Now you can listen to some English with German accent. So sorry for that. Yeah, but I like to tell you a bit about how we got from an event venue to a business who sells and software as a service. Probably before we started to develop our own system, we were looking through the market and we're looking if there is a software on the market which fits our needs, which can help us to tackle our challenge and to solve them. But there are a lot of event management software already out there, but none of them could fill our needs and could fill the needs of just event venues. Most of the software are has a target group as hotels or restaurants or something like that, but and software who fills the needs of an event venue we couldn't find in Germany. So we needed to do something because we had different challenges, and I like to tell you a bit our challenges. Probably some challenges you know from other business as well. Some challenges were probably just challenges for event business. In general, we have been fast growing to that time. So this is not a challenge itself. This is quite good to grow, but it increased the challenges. And one of our biggest challenges was just a lack of staff. We have like an office team with full-time employees, and then we have like a huge team with part-time jobbers, which doing the service during an event as a side job. And if you don't have the employees for another event, you can have another event. So that's a huge a blocker if you don't have them. So this was one challenge. Other challenge was the communication with our customers. As you heard before, we are a wedding venue, so we have a lot of weddings, and weddings are very emotional, and most wedding couples planning a wedding the first time and hopefully just one time in life. So they are not used to it. They don't have a lot of experience with planning a big event. So there's a lot of communication necessary, a lot of mails, a lot of phone calls. They asking for coming a few times to our location and to discuss different points. So it was a lot of communication necessary. And in generally with events, you need to organize everything, that everything is on the right time, on the right place, and is usable there. So it costs a bit of organization. Yeah, and because of that, there's a lot of communication internal necessary as well. So you have to talk to several departments or to several persons, as for example, the person who buys everything, or the person who set up everything, or the service leader, and so on. So there's a lot of internal communication as well. And two other challenges are probably more based on event side. Like we have like one event manager who is in charge for the event, and event is always live. So if you forgot something to organize, or if there's a problem during the event, it's live, and then it's a lot of stress, and you have to run to solve the problem and to fix it. And so it's a huge emotional load for the event manager as well. So I tell you, I come later to that point back. So, but this was a challenge. So to find persons who take the responsibility and to plan events as an event manager. And then we challenged the problem that we were very dependent from the event manager, and the quality of the event was very dependent of one event manager or of the event manager. So if the event manager does the job right, then you have a good event. But if the event manager forgets something, or probably has a bad day, then the quality of the event decrease, and that's bad. And so, as I said, we were looking for a solution and couldn't find one. And then we got like an idea how we could tackle our challenges with an software. And actually, it was a quite simple idea. And in the beginning, we didn't thought to build up a SaaS business, or we didn't thought so much over it. We just started and we like to solve our problems. So our idea was we building like a platform, as we call it questionnaire. And in this questionnaire, we ask our clients everything we need to know. We ask them, do they want to have a photo booth, or we ask them what they like to eat, or we ask them when they're planning to set up the decoration for the event, or we even ask them what to do with the food after the event, with the food waste. I don't know if this is an English word, but I just tell it like that. And we ask all that kind of different questions, but at the same time we give them all information, all our experience we have in event planning. So we give them tips, what food is best for you if you have that expectation or the other expectation. Why is it great to have a photo booth, or why is it great to have the ceremony on Lilienhof, or what is the advantage to have like ceremony on a church or something like that. So all our experience we give to our customer, and they have access to it 24/7. And then we had the fact that we had all information on one place at one source. And then we thought, okay, if we have all that information at one source, we could write organization plans. So we split up the different information to the different departments. So the guy who is setting up everything for the wedding, he probably have to know the schedule or something like that. So he got an organization plan just with the information he needs, and so on. And that was the idea. And we started to create a software. First, it was a very, very simple way. So because we just thought we tackle our problems, but then we had like a really good result out of it. Yeah, probably the last two are the most important ones. So we were able to reduce our effort we have before and after the event, with all the preparation and with writing a bill and all that stuff around the event. We reduced it around about 50%. So that's huge. So before we had an event manager who could do one event a week, for example. Now he could do two. So that's a huge effect. And then during the event, we thought we can't reduce the effort during the event so much, because I mean, you have to do the service, and the service isn't in that software. But just with a clear communication, we were able to reduce the effort during the event by around about 30%. So this is a really huge and good effect. And to tell the effect more concrete, it's like we solved the problem of the custom communication. So we had a lot less phone calls, we had a lot less emails, we had a lot less visitors at our Hofgut. And because they have all information, and you have, yeah. And then we tackled the challenge with the organization, because or with the organization plans. So we had a clear organization structure, and we could work more efficient. We had a better communication, so we got rid of that problem. That probably for some bigger events, we need probably 10 people who set everything up, so that it's really nice, and that we have like the chairs on the right spot, and also you need 10 persons. And if they just have to wait half an hour, then it's 5 hours wasted time. And these are costs. So if you have a clear communication and a clear organization structure, then everyone can work efficient. And through the questionnaire, and through the fact that we bundled all information on Event Cloud, the event manager could be sure that if he collected all information, if all questions are answered in the questionnaire, then we have all information and the event will go good. For sure, you have some unexpected because an event is still live and there's a lot who can happen, but that's the challenge of the job. But all the things you could prepare are prepared, and that's nice to know as an event manager. So the emotional load is way better. Yeah, I told already about our reducement of the staff, so you can do more with the same persons. Yeah. Yeah, probably can go one slide back. Because I told you some challenge we like to tackle, but within this solution we got other advantage we haven't thought that we got them, or we haven't but it was just very, very nice side effects, but positive side effects. So we got a very much better customer certification, because the whole process for the customer is much better than before. It's not fun for the customers to write an email with 10 questions, have to stop planning, and then probably 3 days later, if you receive an answer, he can continue planning. It's much nicer if you have all information and then he can plan very smoothly, probably on a Sunday night on the couch, the wedding of themselves. Yeah, and then we were able to increase our turnover, and that's very important for event venues, because a year has only 365 days, and I can't sell our venue more than that. So if I can get more out of one day, more out of one event, then it's probably my only way to grow if I am sold out. So so that's a very positive effect. And then what is nice as well, we realized that it's an USP to use Event Cloud as an event location, because unfortunately not every event venue works with it. So if you can tell the customers, hey, if you plan your wedding here, then you get like a help from a digital tool, then it's a very good thing, and they will be happy about that. Yes, and then we realized, okay, these are really nice effects, and these challenges are the same challenges as we have probably different event venues as well. And so we started to talk with other venues, and some venues came and want to talk with us because of the solution. So they heard from other bridal couples about it. And so we started to sell our solution, and that's how it begins. Yeah, probably a question is what is about the costs, and is the investing in software? It isn't cheap. For sure, but does it bring profit in the end? And I can answer this question for us with a clear yes, because we have like the two pillars from selling the software we develop for ourselves, and we have like the positive effects for our other business as well. But I think in general, it's about to create added value, and you have to compare the value you created with the costs. And of course, if the value is higher than the cost, then it's worth to do it. And yeah, and yeah, we ended up getting a SaaS business. And the advantage of a SaaS business is that it's nicely scalable. So the cost of the software are increasing very little. They are increasing a bit, but it's almost the same if 10 people use it, or 100, or even better, thousands. And yeah, probably some words to the pricing of the SaaS business. We actually, when we did the pricing for Event Cloud, we haven't looked so much on the costs of the development. We thought like, what's the benefit for the venue who uses it? There's some hard venues, like you can say, okay, you have 50% less hours you have to work with an event, for example, so that you can calculate very you can calculate that. But there you have some more values which you cannot calculate so easily. But in general, we thought, okay, we like to get a win-win situation. Like we want to earn some money, and the benefit should be higher and not a little higher. It should be worth to use Event Cloud in the end. So we have like a win-win situation, like 50-50. And that's how we came to a price for our Event Cloud. Yeah, I guess that's everything I like to say. Probably there are some questions.
Yeah, so now we will have like a questions and answers session. You can write your questions in the chat there, and I will like read it, and we will answer if we can, of course. Yeah, so let's wait for questions for a bit. If no questions, it's also good. Means that everybody got everything. And also, it's worth mentioning that here is the contacts of Josta. So if you want to get an Event Cloud software for yourself, you can always write there, and the guys will take good care of you. I'm sure they will.
Probably in the end, some nice words from my side as well. So it was, I can really recommend to work with Lionwood, and especially with Victor and Dennis. It's nice. For sure, there are some problems occurring during an cooperation. I think that's normal. But the thing is how you tackle the problems or how you get rid of it. This shows how good a cooperation is. And this was always very, very good and nice. And I think the result was very good. And we got a good feedback from our customer side as well. So thanks for that.
Very nice to hear that. Yeah, I think we got no questions. That means like everything is understandable for everyone. So yeah, I also thank you, Josa, for your part in our project. You also you also showed us the good understanding of the issues that we had, and we like really appreciate it. And I hope we will make the Event Cloud better and better every year. Yeah, okay. And I also thank all the attendees who attended our webinar. If any other questions will appear, or you will want to have some consultation like regarding building software, you can always write to us. And thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ah, there's a question actually.
Oh, yeah, I see. Questions to Josa. What's marketing channels do you use on the regular basis for your business?
So I don't know which business I meant. If you meant the event venue, then it's really much about word of mouth. That's like the wedding business is working. We do for sure social media, Instagram, and all that stuff. But the biggest thing is having good events, and they talking of that, and then you get more and more customers. And for Event Cloud, which is not as known as our venue, there we're doing for sure social media as well, but we calling a lot of other venues, and we tell them the solution we have, and we try to build up and networking a lot. Yeah.
Okay, great. And another question. Question to me, actually. Yeah. How can we convince the clients to do the discovery phase? According to my experience, they usually think that it's not so important. Yeah, that's actually very hard to do, because you're naturally perceiving clients to give you their money, and in the end they will give that they will get only some documentation planning. But the most convincing is the language of money, I believe. So you can point out that if this is a big enterprise project without proper discovery phase, you will not be able to do any specific estimates. As I said on this meeting, we did this mistake. So we started the really big project without this phase, but to cover our own a bit, in the end, at the beginning we didn't think about this project as that big. We thought it would be not that big. But yeah, so the answer to it, if you want to convince client to do the discovery phase, it's maybe a bit of a rude answer, but then if the project is big and really big, you just cannot give them specific estimates. If they are okay with that, then you go for it. And the other way is you need to have a real clear list of deliverables, what the client will get. So the main question is, okay, I will pay you, but what will I get in return? So this list of deliverables should be like really well written down. I hope I answered the question. Okay. So no more questions. I guess we can call it a day. Again, thanks everyone for your question and attendance. And again, have a nice evening, have a nice day. See you. Bye-bye. Это может там же, типа,